The most astounding fact is the knowledge that the atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked light elements into heavy elements in their core under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high mass ones among them, went unstable in their later years. They collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy. Guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients become part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, form the next generation of solar systems, stars with orbiting planets. And those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they're small and the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. There's a level of connectivity. That's really what you want in life. You want to feel connected. You want to feel relevant. You want to feel like you're a participant in the goings-on of activities and events around you. That's precisely what we are, just by being alive.
We are young, we have years ahead, maybe we might fall in love, fall apart, fall apart before it ends. while we just try to start. So I'll go, but I'm telling you I don't wanna go. Could be stuck here and happy. There's a puzzle I work on endlessly. I've got sides and all the corners. There's a space. There's a space. Lost some pieces I can't replace. So I'll be, but I'm telling you I don't wanna be just a wasted puzzle piece. We are old, our son took the dog away. Fair enough, guess we're tired all the time. All the time. And you know dogs, they need ample time outside. So I'll stay, but I'm telling you I don't wanna stay. So I'll brace myself against the wall and hope to God that I don't fall. My bones are worn, my hip won't hold. I used to be so young, how did I get so old? Won't you take my cane and hold my hand? You're holding on to all I have, just a basket full of memories. I'm losing more each day it seems, but if I can make it to the street, I'll steal a car or a bike, whatever there is to steal. And it might get cold, I just don't care. I'm going till I'm getting there. I'll ride my steed all through this town till I've looked, I have found your peaceful memory. Won't you return to me? Won't you return to me?
Well, the neon lights were flashing and the icy wind did blow. The water seeped into his shoes and the drizzle turned to snow. His eyes were red, his hopes were dead, and the wine was running low. And the old man came home from the forest. His tears fell on the sidewalk as he stumbled in the street. A dozen faces stopped to stare, but no one stopped to speak. For his castle was a hallway, and the bottle was his friend. And the old man stumbled in from the forest. Up a dark and dingy staircase, the old man made his way. His ragged coat around him as upon his cot he lay. And he wondered how it happened that he ended up this way, getting lost like a fool in the forest. And as he lay there sleeping, a vision did appear. Upon his mantle shining, the face of one so dear, who had loved him in the springtime of a long forgotten year, when the wildflowers did bloom in the forest. And she touched his grizzled fingers, and she called him by his name. And then he heard the joyful sound of children at their games, in an old house on a hillside in some forgotten town, where the river runs down with a mighty roll of big jets soar above the canyon streets, and the conman life goes on, for the city never sleeps. And to an old forgotten soldier, the dawn will come no more, for the old man has come home from the forest. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they built the Titanic to be one of a kind, but many ships have ruled the seas. They built the Eiffel Tower to stand alone, but they could build another if they please. The Taj Mahal, the pyramids of Egypt are unique, I suppose. But when they built you, brother, they broke the mold. Now the world is filled with many wonders under the passing sun. But sometimes something comes along, you know it's for sure the only one. The Mona Lisa, the David, the Sistine Chapel, Jesus, Mary, and Joe. And when they built you, brother, they broke them all. When they built you, brother, they turned dust into gold. When they built you, brother, they broke them all. They say you can't take it with you, but I think they're wrong, 'cause all I know is I woke up this morning and something big was gone. Gone into that dark ether where you're still young and hard and cold, just like when they built you, brother, and broke the mold. And will return your ashes to the earth. And I know you'll take comfort in knowing you've been roundly blessed and cursed. But love is a power greater than death, just like the songs in and stories told. And when she built you up, she broke the mold. Bad attitudes of power stronger than death, alive and burning or stone cold. But when they built you up,
tidal waves come, beg forgiveness, crashed and on their way. Father, he enjoyed collisions, others walked away. A snowflake falls in May, and the doors are open now, setting light upon this ground as the man of the hour taken his final bow. Goodbye for now. Nature has its own religion, gospel from the land. Father ruled by long division, young men they pretend. Old men comprehend. In the clouds break at dawn, shedding light upon this town. They all come round. Taken his final bow. Goodbye for now. In the road, the old man paid the broken scenes along the way. The rest is signs left his forehead. Oh, he was guiding me, love his own way. Now the man of the hour taken his final bow. As the curtain comes down, I feel that this is just goodbye for now.
And what is it all about? Well, we say one must live. It's necessary to survive. You know, you really must go on. It's your duty. We think, you know, it's part of our Western philosophy, that we think we have a drive to survive, that we must go on living. Because some big daddy said to us, you got to go on living. See? And you better make it or else. There really is no necessity to go on living. the fear of death is completely absurd. Because if you're dead, you've got nothing to worry about. So you'll be all right. So in the same way, this thing here, this plant, I'm quite sure it doesn't say to itself, you ought to go on living. You've got an instinct to survive, which is something other than yourself and which you have to obey. Now you see, living, like this plant, is something spontaneous. In Chinese, the word for nature is zhiran, which means that which happens of itself, not under any control of an outside boss. And so you stop this spontaneous flowering of nature cold if you tell it you must do it. It's like saying to someone, you must love me. Well, it's ridiculous. If I were to ask my wife, darling, do you really love me? And she says, I'm trying my best to do so. That's not the answer I want. I want her to say, I can't help loving you. I love you so much I could eat you. And that's what the plant feels in growing. It doesn't feel that it must grow. It's not under orders. It's not a military chain of command. It does this spontaneously. So that when you try to command a spontaneous process, you stop it.
What you are basically, deep, deep down, far, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. Reality itself is gorgeous. It is the plenum, the fullness of total joy. Wow-wee. And all those stars, if you look out in the sky, as a firework display like you see on the 4th of July, which is a great occasion for celebration. The universe is a celebration. It is a firework show to celebrate that existence is. Wow-wee.
See, this is the real secret of life. To be completely engaged with what you're doing in the here and now. And instead of calling it work, realize that this is play.
There are places in and around our great cities where the natural world has all but disappeared. You can make out streets and sidewalks, autos, parking garages, advertising billboards, monuments of glass and steel, but not a tree or a blade of grass or any animal, besides, of course, the humans. There are lots of humans. Only when you look straight up through the skyscraper canyons can you make out a star or a patch of blue. Reminders of what was there long before humans came to be. It's not hard going to work every day in such a place to be impressed with ourselves, how we've transformed the earth for our benefit and convenience. But a few hundred miles up or down, there are no humans. Our impact on the universe is nil. In the last 10,000 years, an instant in our long history, we've abandoned the nomadic life. We've domesticated the plants and animals. Why chase the food when you can make it come to you? For all its material advantages, the sedentary life has left us edgy, unfulfilled. Even after 400 generations in villages and cities, we haven't forgotten. There are now people on every continent and the remotest islands, from pole to pole, from Mount Everest to the Dead Sea, on the ocean bottoms, and even, occasionally, in residence 200 miles up. Humans, like the gods of old, living in the sky. These days, there seems to be nowhere left to explore. Victims of their very success, the explorers now pretty much stay home. Maybe it's a little early. Maybe the time is not quite yet. But those other worlds, promising untold opportunities, beckon. Just now, there are a great many matters that are pressing in on us, that compete for the money it takes.
I have a friend who's an artist, and he's sometimes taken a view which I don't agree with very well. He'll hold up a flower and say, "Look how beautiful it is," and I'll agree, I think. And he says, "You see, as I as an artist can see how beautiful this is, but you as a scientist, take this all apart and it becomes a dull thing." And I think that he's kind of nutty. First of all, the beauty that he sees is available to other people and to me too. I believe, although I may not be quite as refined as aesthetically as he is, that I can appreciate the beauty of a flower. At the same time, I see much more about the flower than he sees. I could imagine the cells in there, the complicated actions inside, which also have a beauty. I mean, it's not just beauty at this dimension of 1 centimeter, there's also beauty at a smaller dimensions. The inner structure, also the processes, the fact that the colors and the flower evolved in order to attract insects to pollinate it is interesting. It means that insects can see the color. It adds a question. Does this aesthetic sense also exist in the lower forms? Why is it aesthetic? All kinds of interesting questions which the science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower. It only adds. I don't understand how it subtracts. If you expected science to give all the answers to the wonderful questions about what we are, where we're going, what the meaning of the universe is, and so on, then I think you could easily become disillusioned and then look for some mystic answer to these problems. How a scientist can take a mystic answer, I don't know, because the whole spirit is to understand. Well, never mind that. I don't understand that. But anyhow, if you think of it, though, the way I think of what we're doing is we're exploring. We're trying to find out as much as we can about the world. People say to me, "Are you looking for the ultimate laws of physics?" No, I'm not. I'm just looking to find out more about the world. And if it turns out there is a simple ultimate law that explains everything, so be it. That would be very nice to discover. If it turns out it's like an onion with millions of layers and we're just sick and tired of looking at the layers, then that's the way it is. But whatever way it comes out, its nature is there and she's going to come out the way she is. And therefore, when we go to investigate it, we shouldn't pre-decide what it is we're trying to do except to find out more about it. You see, one thing is I can live with doubt and uncertainty and not knowing. I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. I have approximate answers and possible beliefs and different degrees of certainty about different things, but I'm not absolutely sure of anything, and there are many things I don't know anything about. But I don't have to know an answer. I don't feel frightened by not knowing things, by being lost in the mysterious universe without having any purpose, which is the way it really is as far as I can tell, possibly. It doesn't frighten me. And so altogether, I can't believe the special stories that have been made up about our relationship to the universe at large, because they seem to be too simple, too connected, too local, too provincial. The earth, he came to the earth. One of the aspects of God came to the earth, mind you. And look at what's out there. How can it isn't in proportion. Anyway, it's no use arguing. I can't argue it. I'm just trying to tell you, with the scientific view, well, my father's view, that we should look to see what's true and what may not be true. Once you start doubting, which I think to me is a very fundamental part of my soul, is to doubt and to ask. And when you doubt and ask, it gets a little harder to believe.
Strange and beautiful are the stars tonight that dance around your head. In your eyes I see that perfect world. I hope that doesn't sound too weird. And I want all the world to know that your love's all I need, all that I need. And if we're lost, then we are lost together. Yeah, if we're lost, we are lost together. Stand before this faceless crowd. I wonder why I bother. So much control by so few, stumbling from one disaster to another. I've heard it all so many times before. It's all a dream to me now, a dream to me now. And if we're lost, we are lost together. Yeah, if we're lost, we are lost together. In the silence of this whispered night, I listen only to your breath. And in that second of it, shooting stars, somehow it all makes sense. And I want all the world to know that your love's all I need, all that I need. And if we're lost, then we are lost together. reach out, love and touch me, let me hold you for a while. I've been all around the world, oh how I long to see you smile. There's a shadow on the moon and the waters here below do not shine the way they should, and I love you just in case you did not know. Let it go, let it happen again, happened once before. It's a wicked wind, it chills me to the bone. If you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadow at your door. Won't you lie down by me, baby, run your fingers through my hands. Been all around the town, still I do not understand. Is it me or is it you, or the shadow of a dream? Is it wrong to be in love? And it makes the finest from I've ever seen. Set it free, let it happen again, happened once before. It's a wicked wind, and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadow at your door. Please kiss me gently, darling, where the river runs away. The mountains in the springtime on a blue and windy day, where there's beauty all around as the shades of night grow deep. The morning stars grow dim, they will find us in the shadows fast asleep. Let it go, let it happen again, happened once before. It's a wicked wind, and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadow at your door.
balancing on one wounded wing, circling the edge of the never-ending. The best of the vanished marvels have gathered inside your doors. More than begin, but less than forget. Both spirits born from the night I've been yet, gathering here to pay back a debt brought back from the wars. We thought we lost you. We thought we lost you. We thought we lost you. Welcome back. Sleeping for years, pick through what is left, through the pieces that fell and arose from the depths, from the rainwater well, deep as a secret nobody knows. Less than forget, but more than begun, these adventures in solitude never done. To the names of our wounds, we bring the same blood back from the wars. We thought we lost you. We thought we lost you. We thought we lost you. It will all come back. To run far away from one more, and that's coming at a bad time. Some call place, some countless ways. For all we know, I know you need to breathe through, come back, come to, but it's coming at a bad time. Somehow watch the tangling days. For all we know,
there's a kind of a restless feeling, and it pulls me from within. It sets my senses reeling, and my wheels begin to spin. In the quietude of winter you can hear the wild geese cry, and I will always love that sound until the day I die. There's a plain and a simple answer to each and every quest. From every quiet dancer who might be a special guest in a movie made for TV or a late-night interview. You might even find them on The Young and the Restless too. Do you get that restless feeling when you hear a whistle blast, like an echo from the past of an old engine flying down a road that's iron cast? The lake is blue, the sky is gray, the leaves have turned to gold. The wild goose will be away, the weather's much too cold. When the muskie and the old trout too have all gone down to rest, we will be returning to the things that we love best. Do you get that restless yearning when you think about your dad and the scrimshaw that he had of an old schooner roving beneath the sky that's ironclad? There's a kind of a restless feeling, it catches you off guard as we gaze off in the distance through the trees in my backyard. I can feel the restless yearning of those geese as off they roam, and trade that for a warm bed in a place I can call home. Will you get that restless yearning when you hear the wicked blast of a specter from the past, of a cold diesel rolling down a road that's built to last? Still I get that restless feeling when I hear a whistle blast, see an image from the past of an old schooner flying down a sky that's overcast.
Well, the sun is surely sinking down, but the moon is slowly rising, and this old world must still be spinning around, and I still love you. So close your eyes, you can close your eyes, it's alright. And I don't know no love songs, and I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can sing this song. Can sing this song when I'm gone. It won't be long before another day we're gonna have a good time, and no one's gonna take that time away. You can stay as long as you like. So close your eyes, you can close your eyes, it's alright. And I don't know no love songs, and I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can sing this song, and you can sing this song when I'm gone.
It's my life's work, and I'm surrounded by incredible people who've been helping me, and he's an incredible person. So it's what can I say? It's been a journey. Thank you.
how light carries on endlessly, even after death, with shortness of breath. You explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it is to even exist. I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eye. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. The shortness of breath, I'll explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it truly is.